to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share, pick up the phone, turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel.
Brothers, welcome sisters, welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you're free to pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak on any issue, politics, religion, socioeconomic issues. A number of issues trending in the world today, from Russia and Ukraine. Russia is mashing up Ukraine to pieces, to the ceasefire broken in the Middle East, still holding. Donald Trump seems to be the only one who believes that it will work. The issue in Venezuela and United States in the Caribbean waters. More of the Caribbean leaders feel more comfortable now because it appears the Russian navies in the Caribbean. You see, most of them was only asking for a zone of peace when they felt it was the American alone. Most of our Caribbean leaders are left inclined, saltless Christians, and borders on the realm of atheists. You can get us on 91.9, 91.5, 94.9 in Brooklyn, New York. And we're on YouTube. Yesterday we had some technical difficulties that kept the program off the air. But we're back with you today. We apologize, right? You know, normally we want to come on as regular as possible, but every now and then we have challenges. So we pray your forgiveness, and we highly appreciate your participation. And you don't have to agree with us on that program. In fact, we like when we differ. You could differ. When you're in a conversation and people have a difference of opinion, you can learn from it. You don't have to be abusive and retributive and attacking them personally. We have a lot of that these days. And while we await your call, remember the number to call is 442-0175. 442-0175. Give us a call. We'll also read your comments. We'll try our best. Today, I want to call on an individual named Lorena Waldron. I've been calling on individuals to help in that case. They have not bothered with me. Lorena Waldron is a potential candidate for the St. Andrews Northwest seat in St. Andrews. A great crime, in my opinion, has taken place. The present parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest has taken away from Deborah Charles that which she did not have. Sometimes some people take things that you have and you're hot. But when somebody takes something from you and you didn't even have it, it is even harder. Deborah Charles obtained a piece of land from government. And you hear the words I'm using. Obtained. Because she believed it was fait accompli. She paid the surveyor to survey the land, as was required by the government. And she paid down several payments on the land. And she once was a regular occupant of the land. But she had her challenges and had to move from that community to another community. And she continued to make payments on the land. The parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest took the land away from her and gave it to somebody else. Despite the fact that she'd been making payments on the land, they took it away from her. And when she found out by letter, she started the journey to try to recover that land. She even went to a lawyer. When the lawyer heard her cry, the lawyer must realize that this client is too poor for me to represent them. So the lawyer advised her to go to the parliamentary representative and tell them that. He said that's an easy thing to handle. She went to the parliamentary representative and she was shocked that that is the parliamentary representative that did her that. She said, how could you do me that? And the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northeast said, not Northeast, Northwest. St. Andrews Northwest. The parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest. Say, I didn't know it was you. And Deborah Charles said, how could you not know? I like that language. It is agricultural and poetic, and it comes from the heart. How could you not know? We sat on the same school bench. So the parliamentary representative took from Deborah Charles even that she did not have. In Grenada, if you're making $3,000 a month, they consider you as poor and vulnerable. It doesn't matter where you're working. Whether you're working in the bank, in Huggins, Coates, whether you put in a jacket and tie and go to work, whether you speaking English more than the British, if your income is $3,000 and less, you're poor and you're vulnerable. But if your income is less than $1,000, you are considered destitute poor. Deborah Charles, poor more than church mice. And she has children. And she was a victim of the Great Fire. And even that could not soften the heart of the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest. So Lorena Waldron, I understand you're a potential candidate for the NNP. I know you long. I think you're quite capable to fight that case for Deborah Charles. And while you're on it, Lorena Waldron, the farmers in Maribo, the government took the land, they took the water away from the farmers because they had problem with one farmer. It appears they felt he was too green. So they took away the water from him. I appealed to the Minister of Agriculture for help. But he practiced some financial strangulation on me. He decided to deny me $9,000, which I believe I was qualified for because I was victim of burial. And they decided I shouldn't get 5 bags of manure. You see, this government is evil. And they believe in retributive justice. But they have gone so far with that policy that they go after even the destitute poor. So Lorena Waldron, that is 2 cases I'll give you at this time. I have a lot more. But that is 2 cases I'll give you at time. Deborah Charles, she sat on the same school bench with the present parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest. That representative took from Deborah that which she did not have. And I appealed to the Minister of Agriculture. But I guess I and him no longer in the same economic strata. He's part of the privilegencia. So you don't want to see me again. So I call on you, Lorena Waldron, to find out about this case and prepare to do battle for Deborah Charles and the farmers of Maribou. 22 farmers. They was benefiting from the water for 26 years. Different government passed. But these group that we consider as vultures and poor people terrorists, they took the water away from them. Some of their supporters say, let them starve. I want the people in the diaspora to understand what is going on in Grenada. I have said often, Maurice Bishop supervised over the worst crimes in Grenada after slavery and colonialism. And he was only able to do that because of the support from the diaspora. And our brothers and sisters in the diaspora today, I know you like the gala life. But when the carnival over, we still have to have a brighter day. So I appeal to you in the diaspora to ask these people about the farmers in Maribou and Deborah Charles. A lot is going on in Grenada and the rest of the Caribbean. And I believe the biggest challenge we have in the Caribbean is we want to blame those that have gone before. We preoccupy with the blame game. That is going to take a while to change because it is part of the black culture. So it's going to take some time. It wouldn't change overnight. Maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years. If we start now, we could change the culture for our people with the blame game. I believe that one of the best countries in the world that we should befriend and pattern some examples on is Israel. Israel, yes, scholar, welcome.
I totally agree with you. We can change the blame game. We can surely change the blame game and go down a different passage. For example, the record of this present government show that they followed the manifesto. They live up to standards. So I ask you to say it and give the government credit by simply stating to your audience that they're following the manifesto. Thus far, we can safely say they're roughly and honestly about 75% or maybe more in terms of fulfillment of the manifesto and what they promised Grenada. Now, that is what you call progress. That is what you call promise fulfilled. So in that manner, I think the statement you were making, for a second there I was wondering if you're talking about yourself, because it's not an accurate statement to state in reference to this particular administration under the leadership of Mr. Deacon Mitchell that we're going down that path. So I want us to be a little more responsible, be a little more accurate, and let us be honest with when we talk. At the end of the day, we have to pray for each and every one of them. We all are Grenadians. If they do well, remember, politics is a continuum, and all of us are Grenadians. And let us understand and let us know what is really going on in Grenada holistically. And I will always tell you, and I will always mention, there is no perfection in the human domain. You don't expect anybody not to falter. Not you, not me. However, in terms of the rate of progress and what we're doing in terms of the promise which was made under this visionary excellent, brilliant Prime Minister. Look at that. They just announced a while ago. They just announced a while ago some new pension for different workers in Grenada. This is what you call progress. This is what you call insight. This is what you call a brand new frontier in politics. It's not the big dog style. You know, this is what you call a person who understands, a person who's connected to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. And this is why Africa is embracing him. This is why everybody sees him as a young, brilliant Prime Minister. And the fact is, it's only the opposition what tend to see otherwise. Grenadians are gravitating towards Deacon Mitchell and his style of leadership. That is what we need in this dispensation, and I think we should be praying for him, as God said in his word. Have yourself a pleasant day, Mr. Pierre.
Thank you, Color.
Wonderful.
Color, you must listen to me. I consider Deacon as a fake, and I gave reasons for it. A vulture, poor people terrorist, master deceiver. Deacon went quiet in the United Nations and deceived the children of Christophe. I consider Deacon as the corrupter in chief. He flaunted the law in the Grenada Development Bank with impunity, raided the bank to fill the coffers of his ministers and director of the bank. I consider him as a common thief, and I call on one of the individuals, his name slipped me now, Richard Duncan. Is it reasonable for me to consider the government as a common thief? The Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, we consider him as a divider. You know what he is advocating? That some people in Grenada are classless and commoners, beggy, and cultural illiterates. The Prime Minister of Grenada dabbled with the occult. Color, yes, the devil does do good things. But you must face this against what you consider as positive. How could you rate a Prime Minister that dabbles in the occult? The Prime Minister sneaking into Nigeria, and he was brutally chastised in front of his own children by the governor of Nigeria. The Prime Minister told lies. And even the Prime Minister of Antigua was upset and angry with him. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Welcome, caller.
I want the caller to tell Mr. Deacon, please, the money taken to pay the rent, his rent on the poor people of this country, take it and give the children to have a good feeding program in the school. If that Prime Minister had loved Grenada, he would have never take 20,500 a parent. Check that every month. Multiplied by 5 years and so much money. The commission don't care about the people of Grenada. He come to have a good time. He come to lavish. He come to travel. How much time to travel for the train and the few months, 3 years and the few months in office? You have a bucket list. That color we're calling there, whatever whoever he feel well is supporting, he's supporting. But it's okay to support his Prime Minister, but truth is truth. Truth is truth. Say it as it is. And when he's going wrong, tell him he's going wrong. Because it's going on the wrong path. We're not talking about hate and love, we're talking about our country and our children's future. And the commission have no plan for Grenada. They just come to just have a name as a Prime Minister and just live a life. So, caller, will come again.
Thank you, caller. The Prime Minister accepted gifts. And we beg him, tell us what you do with it. He accepted gifts from rich companies. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hi, good day, Mr. Pierre. How you doing?
Great, man.
Do you think it's possible that the caller is an agent provocateur?
Well, nothing. We welcome people that differ with us. If an individual is part of the public relation of the government, you expect them to give the good side. I would have liked him to answer
fair enough.
to some of the accusation that we are making.
Yes, I champion.
Instead of trying to tell me
I
I should praise Deacon.
I was disappointed with that.
Yeah.
All right. So, to be honest, there's one thing that I heard Mr. Miss said that I agree with, and that was today. I don't care what pressure that he imposed or forced on the opposition. I think they should always represent the people. I'm very disappointed that even if someone to take minutes, I don't know if that platform is there. But let me speak on this. I want to ask you a question before I want to make some point out some situations. Now, I remember a while back after Barrow, one of the ministers said that he was in touch with the US government more or less via Elon Musk through a Starlink phone, right? Elon Musk have a companies where he's basically pushing automation and AI intelligence. I noticed that there was a push for data information laws in Grenada. There was the spying on one of the parliamentaries representative in the parliament. There was that. There were the access to drone with Jenny Simon. There's now talk about the US radar system, which I presume would be using LiDAR, which more or less could scan inside houses and all that. They have removed, more or less outlawed lead paint, which actually prevented rays from coming into houses and stuff. I'm saying all of this in the backdrop due to, again, Amen, when he was talking about the demonstration, he said someone hacked his phone and said that they couldn't come and demonstrate again because there was a cruise ship coming in. I'm also addressing Mr. Tofar Pierre, when he mentioned that he was having a conversation and a word that he used in the conversation was actually brought to him by one of his superiors. So I'm saying all of this to ask, do you think it's possible, based on the political atmosphere and the policies that's being invoked and the way the administration is moving, Grenada is going to become a police state? Do you think that every citizen will actually have to bear identification? Because a lot of people are talking about development, but development into what? Like, is it that we expect to see flying cars or skyscrapers and stuff in Grenada for instructional development? Is that what we consider development? Like, where exactly is the vision in terms of, like, what exactly are the people going? Like, what does the end result look like? They have these granditures of like infrastructures and structures that will be put up and monuments and all that, decorated to this and decorated to that, but there's no clear indication of what the plan is for the future. Is it that we're going to have sustainability into agriculture? Is it that we're going to use untapped lands and mass produce stuff for that we could use in-house and export outside? Is it that we have, like, we're going to employ trains and flying cars and that kind of stuff based on what the future looks like? Like, where's the grounds of that? So again, based on the so-called technology advancement and these individuals co-signing the visionary site of the PM, what does that site look like? And do you think it's possible that Grenada is going to become a police state based on those factors that I pointed out?
Well, I think I have asked the question over 2 years now. Who is the third party dictating our policies? And I've spoken to one or two ministers and some high up end of NDC, and they have no clue where we're going. So even some of these legislation that have been introduced, some of the ministers are just following. They don't know. And that's why I firmly believe there is a third party directing Deacon. Okay. And all so Deacon concerned, he want to be a billionaire. So he himself don't care about the outcome.
Well said, Mr. Pierre. Appreciate it.
Yes, caller, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I go back to the fact of the caller asking me to applaud Deacon. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, I'm seeking to find out about the cabinet conclusion that we are supposed to have about over 3 years now.
Yeah, Deacon lie. Deacon
cabinet
just
conclusion.
Lie. Deacon just lie. Yeah, no cabinet conclusion. The Prime Minister is a compulsive liar. We have to put these things in place, and it's dangerous. Because if you have a leader,
because we're not putting it in place, we're not calling on him to produce the cabinet conclusion. We did for 2 weeks, and then we stopped. Without him producing the cabinet conclusion, we stopped asking him for it.
Well, the Prime Minister is a compulsive liar.
I think we need to ask him for it. Right, but then I asked you last time, how about a maximum wage. We had a minimum wage. What is the maximum wage?
We don't have
Take for instance, you have the let's say the prime minister will be receiving how much $1,000 a month as his
maybe about
salary?
40. I don't know if he reached 40. He said he was
Right.
not working for less than 35. I don't know if he reached 40.
Yeah, but then that money that goes into paying for the rent,
That's the different.
will that be
That's
coming
different. That's different. Rent, entertainment, housing, traveling, all that is different. The prime minister wants to be a
Mr.
billionaire.
Man, Mr. Man, you listen now. The rent, you're saying that's another thing. The rent is part of his salary.
No, caller.
Mr. Man,
Caller,
you cannot have. hold
caller,
on,
you,
hold on.
you want shooter, you
Listen,
just want us.
Just listen a minute. Just listen 1 minute. You cannot be paying a man $40,000 a month. You're supposed to be paying his rent too because you have a housing accommodation for him. You're supposed to be paying his rent also. This is the law. You're supposed to be paying his rent, and his rent supposed to be how much? That is what I'm saying, the maximum. So will he just go and take any amount for his rent? $100,000 for rent? That is what you're telling me? $100,000 for rent? Tell me something, man. Besides renting, entertainment and so forth, don't you have a ceiling on the amount he could use for entertainment? Will you tell me too that he could entertain himself anyhow, anyway, in Nigeria, everywhere? He gonna enjoy himself there, entertain himself? Will you please put a ceiling on that? And don't tell me nothing about it's another thing. You must have a ceiling on his salary, how much he could spend for the month. You have him traveling up and down the world, non-stop. Yes, and not just non-stop, first class. And not he alone, plenty people with him. Will you tell me that that's not his salary too? This is supposed to become his salary when he go in private. But he's spending it out. And then you tell me I have to pay for that. And my $1,200 as minimum wage cannot even buy a good 2 pound of rice back and neck. And you tell me this is all I have to spend. That you're giving me to spend, whereas he is spending any amount. You must have a ceiling. How much this man is able to spend a month. This is what I'm saying. You cannot be giving poor people, okay, you're telling poor people they're supposed to spend $1,200. Or you'd have given them those pension, you give them $700. And you taking 15 million for yourself. What kind of thing you giving me, man? I do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes, scholar. Sometimes the truth is hard to face. And that's why a man vote is so important. And that's why I've been saying we must question our politicians. You must know what your politicians believe in. Deacon was a cat we buy in a bag. We didn't know what we get into. All we know about Deacon, that he has deep pockets and contacts. The ordinary man said the lawyers supporting him. I don't know if he was using the lawyers maliciously or if it's just people's perception. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Hi, caller.
Good day. Mr. Pierre, how do many people so dumb?
You think it's a caller, just a while.
Yeah.
You think those statements that we have heard with so much regularity are fair statements?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
We had an opportunity to go in Parliament and dominate the Parliament, disagree with what they're saying, don't disagree with what they're saying. They give it up because of their stupidity. Can you imagine? These people lie to the public and say they don't get no email. Then people get email, they lie. Every time they lie, they get email. It was discussed in the Parliament today that the email was sent to them. because I am getting.
But caller.
Yes,
Don't do me that, man. The Prime Minister say you don't get. Caller, listen. The gentleman that playing the most important role on the government side, they have a line for him. That is Mr. He is the one to introduce the bill. He say he get. Yes, he complain too. So if you want to make all these harsh statements at the opposition, you know I'll let you do it. But you must be consistent. If caller, what the government did was to try to trick the parliament. Dick and his group did not want the parliament sitting. The opposition said, let the parliament take place and let us discuss selecting the committees and then we would adjourn.
Well,
But caller, listen, man. Caller, listen.
all that done today. Mr. Pierre,
We have to listen to, we can't continue to make outrageous statements and we don't want to take correction. And let me make that statement. What happened in the parliament the last time? The government planned to postpone the parliament because it was not prepared. But they didn't expect the opposition to say, let us have the committee meetings. And after the committee meetings, we will adjourn. So once the speaker agreed with the opposition, that is why they can get up and object and try to treat the speaker as how he treat Josie Vandal. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. The amount of corruption are going on in Grenada, which Deacon Mitchell knew about and not doing nothing. This is 2,000, what is 20,500 for them to pay for rent for Deacon? This is small money for Deacon, not caring about the people of this country. The amount of corruption are going on, Deacon Mitchell know, instead of dealing with the fine people. What the amount of corruption are going on now, like more corruption went before. Prove it. The commissioner go class it as itself as the worst prime minister in the end.
He's the most corrupt.
He's the worst. And he know it for himself, but he just don't care. He's the worst. And he's doing nothing to improve himself. He's doing nothing to improve the lives of the Grenadian people. He can just come, when they say they don't like the word poor and vulnerable, he come as a vengeance to just treat every poor and vulnerable people in this country bad. Because he's a deep pocket man. He don't care about the less fortunate people in this country, and it's a fact.
Yes, thank you, caller. You see, the caller that called earlier asking me to applaud Deacon. For what? Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, go ahead. You either listen. Okay. We accuse the government of accepting gifts. When your prime minister is accepting gifts in the excess of $30,000 and your prime minister is not retiring these gifts to the Integrity Commission, this is an abomination. That's wrong. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, welcome. We can't hear you. You're very low, or you're listening to a delayed broadcast. If you're listening to a radio, you're going to get a delayed broadcast. So as much as it is nice for everybody to hear your own voice, you have to listen to the phone that you're speaking on. So we lost that caller. We have another caller on the line. Caller Punch.
Good day, sir.
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I joined you late because I wanted to go back today, but I will change my topic.
Yes, go right ahead.
I late. I realize you say you don't like want us to attack others callers, but This color looking
But
for attack,
sometimes
you have no facts.
you could attack a color by answering the truth or educating the color. But if you attack a color by saying, you could attack the color by educating the color. You see, I educated the color by speaking about a fake vulture, perpetrator, master deceiver, a corrupter in chief. What has Deacon done for us to applaud?
Yeah.
I don't know what he has done for us to applaud. Deacon gave out 1,000 cricket kits. He said it was for St. David's, but we lambast it on the radio. So I understand it's Richard Duncan that tell him, don't give St. David's people alone, show it to the whole country. But Deacon's supposed to retire that kit to the Integrity Commission, because Dangote did not give the kits to the Ministry of Education or to the Ministry of Sports. He gave it to Deacon personally. And the Integrity Commission is against that corruption.
That is corruption and bribery.
He gave it to Deacon personally. That is corruption. Not because it's cricket kits and people like it. He gave it to Deacon personally. And Deacon is using these kits to make political mileage. What did Dangote get for that? We heard that the individual who gave him the gift in excess of 30,000 US got concession that run in the millions. The individual is corrupt.
Yes.
So I think we need these things, because if you have politicians without any sense of morality and integrity, you're going to deteriorate your country. Yeah. Yes, caller, thank you. Caller, thank you. If you have leaders in your country that is corrupt and lack integrity and void of morality, you're going down a slippery slope fast. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, afternoon, Kefi. How are you?
Go right ahead. Yes, caller.
Yeah. Kefi, KJ want the people that catch the hell and the NDC to applaud the Khan and his administration.
For what? For what? I gave KJ an opportunity, 3 minutes to tell me what the government has done positive. I asked him for 3 things the government did. He promised to give me 6. He can't give me 1. He's a lost case. He don't have the ability to debate.
Yeah. What I'm saying,
Don't waste time on KJ, man.
It is clear to see the wickedness and the amount of corruption that is taking place in the country. So either you want the people to applaud the Mitchell and his entourage for raiding the Grenada Development Bank, and the bank become a minister's bank. He wanted the Grenada people to applaud the amount of corruption that's taking place in all the government ministry. Right? Where the Prime Minister is getting rid of the whistleblowers that reporting the corruption, he's getting them home, sending them home. But the one who come doing the corruption, he embracing them and he loving them. He want the people going to carry on to say the Prime Minister is doing good. But when he encouraging among the corruption taking place in all the ministries, the amongst the traveling, among the spend and traveling, right? Where the poor people catching the tail. He want the people going to carry on to applaud the Prime Minister for all the wrongdoing that's taking place in the country. While the minister's bank pocket getting bigger and bigger and fatter every day, the poor people catching the hell. Somebody that was working, they are sent home. They're sent home. We want these people to applaud the government for sending them home. Sending them home. Mr. Pierre, I want to say to the Grenadian people, you deserve better. You deserve a leader that we see that the cake share, every man get the same amount. But out of in one cake, everybody they get a portion of the cake. Because he also want the greater people again to applaud the Prime Minister by making a statement and said the only reason why the other side get in because the real NDC don't know who is the NMP. Right? We want them to applaud him by making a statement. Right? And I would say they can be going in history as the worst and the greatest divider as a minister that divided the people of Greater Carriacou and Petit Martin. This government should never talk about transparency, good governance, and accountability. That they don't have that in them. They don't have that in there. Mr. Pierre, I want to say to the people again, and get registered. Your children, when they reach 18 years, encourage them to go and vote. Because hope is on the way. And that hope is NMP.
Thank you, Colin.
Mr. Pierre, have a blessing.
I want the photogenic journalists. Because you and the doctor of journalists, you all are the favorite journalists for Dick Mitchell and his group. So you have a responsibility and obligation to tell Grenadians about the Taraba state in Nigeria. What Dick Mitchell go and do in Taraba? The Prime Minister of Grenada did not visit Nigeria and the Minister of Agriculture. He visited a state in Nigeria that started on the 27th of August, 1991. A young state. And the university started in 2008. What Dick Mitchell went and do in Taraba? The photogenic journalist and the doctor of journalism. You have Deacon's air. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Well, thank you very much and pleasant good morning or afternoon to everyone. Sorry about that.
Yes, my brother.
I missed this morning's parliamentary session and I have no idea. I'm in limbo. So I don't know if anyone heard our Prime Minister speak and what he said or whatnot pertaining to the...
I did not listen to this session this morning. So I don't have no clue.
I'm just hoping that someone maybe could call in and see what they
maybe by tomorrow, people might be able to speak on it.
We might hear.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Thank you very much so far still. Let me just say, I don't know if Culture Man is listening. I understand so that he was not well in hospital and whatnot. I want to wish him a speedy recovery and hope that everything goes well with him in the future.
All right.
Well,
thank you.
Still a friend. I'm still apart. I'm on your side still. I had an occasion to visit my lands. I couldn't really get there because the grass, the road and whatnot, etc. And I'm still yet to receive any monies from that program, Belly Relief program. But anyway, I hold on with that. Thank you very much anyway. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. You see, Deacon visited Taraba State in Nigeria. Nigeria is millions of people in. The state of, is not to say the Prime Minister visit Nigeria and spoke to the government and the Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria. He went to a state. The Prime Minister visited Taraba State with a massive contingent. It's a poor state. Why did the Prime Minister felt it necessary to visit the state of Taraba? What he hoped to achieve? What was the objective? Is it just a waste of money? Or this Prime Minister is traveling to amass wealth? That could be the reason. He's traveling to amass wealth. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
And how are you?
Great, man.
Right. Well, first of all, the Prime Minister have not spoken on any of that matter yet concerning the outstanding matter that he was supposed to speak on. What they're doing is more passing bills and confirming bills, and so far, Mr. have supported all the bills. They passed Child Act bill and whatnot, and all the bills that passed, Mr. Peter David have supported in favor of all the bills so far. And the parliament is still in process. But the opposition, the speaker read the letter, a letter wrote by the leader of the opposition, why they're not attending parliament. So the president said they don't want to do the people work. They're having a fine time there because every bill that they come with.
The eyes have it.
Huh?
The eyes have it.
The eyes have it, yes. So they're having a fine time. The opposition will have to do some more groundwork and let us know what are the insights about things, because they didn't have to send the meeting and tell the public more about it, because all the bills is going to pass. Every bill that they come.
Well, whether the opposition was there or not, the eyes have it.
Yeah, the eyes have it.
But if the government could pass the bills, whether the opposition or not there, is the government that doing everything in their power to deny the voice of the opposition? Because opposition,
I'll see that.
The government have to be in consultation with the opposition to fix the date. And they refuse to do that.
And I kind of support you there that the bill was deliberate, not think to the person. Even the opposition, the member of the government didn't get the bills.
No, you see, this government lying too much.
It looked like an orchestrated thing.
Yes, I think it was clearly orchestrated.
Yeah.
But
I'm to be honest, the state of Grenada know. Why? Because some people don't want to hear me say that, but the fact is fact. At this present time, Dickon is heavy, and he's taking advantage of that heaviness.
Of course.
He's overusing it, and he's
the
heavy.
Prime Minister is in charge.
Heavy, whether we like it or not.
Well, there's nothing you can do.
He's heavy, and he's taking advantage on that, and he seems to have a crowd of people behind him taking advantage.
Yes, and then the Prime Minister decide to pay money for good relationship.
Right, because
accept bribe and use government coffers to encourage people to obey.
He just passed a bill there where persons who get pension are liable to get pension now. So all that is going to give him fame, and that's what he's doing. But my main...
Does the OAN agree with the bill?
Well, let him say that.
Well, you will have to wait in the laws.
Yeah. But, you see, the problem is, while I understand the Prime Minister will have to secure himself, but this idea where you have and people doing wrong, people living, and you're sweeping it under the carpet, and you tell the nation that NMP got money from a man for in, and you have it in there. You say you have the thing and you have not showed that.
The Prime Minister lied.
I look at that as very dangerous. Yeah. I don't mind the Prime Minister holding his weight now. He have his weight. That is politics. But to come out and make that lie, and the nation calling on you for it that you can't take it, and they're telling you of things like in Lotto and whatnot, and you're talking from it. That is hurting me.
The Prime Minister is corrupt.
That is definitely hurting me. You know, because he's going to make it 5 years, and if he gets the next chance, he's going to do the very same thing.
But you know, Mr. Bridgman, our voice is important, you know.
I wonder if people, if the people
never underestimate.
I wonder if the people even believe in what we say.
Never
underestimate. A lot of people, if I support something that the government do, a lot of people vex with me. You know?
Never underestimate the power of our voice. And the fact that somebody vexes with you alone, you know that what you're saying makes sense.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I just ignore you.
To appreciate it. I say when something is wrong as far as I'm concerned, I want to say it's wrong.
That is the most
right. I'm going to say it's right.
That is the most corrupt government.
It could be my son, my daughter, me who, and you're wrong. I'm sorry I have to tell you wrong. You are wrong. And that's how I look at life.
Yeah. Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
And you were last caller, so you go right ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, I'm a bit confused. Prior to today, a child, 18 years, getting married had to get the consent of his or her parents. 18, well, I knew at first I thought it was 21, but I'm hearing today it's 18. Had to get the consent of his or her parents. As it stands today, this is normal. Prior to today, a child, 12 years, going to a doctor for any sexual problem, whatever it is, had to be accompanied by the parent. But what we find is that no longer will happen. The child is, I don't want to say big enough, but the child can do what he or she likes as it relates to her sexual preferences, sexual orientation, however you told me. And Mr. Pierre, this is very, very, very much troubling. This is very much troubling. What is actually happening to our children now? 18 years a parent can say, I would have to give you that consent to get married. No. That is no longer the age. You have to go at a higher age to get married. Parents will have to sign for you to get married. No, a child could go to a doctor's office, make their own request, do what they want at the age of 12, and yet still a parent has no intervention in that. Mr. Pierre, we are heading down a very, very, very dangerous path. Mr. Pierre, Grenada is not on the right path. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Colo. You see, the left wing, the communists, and the atheists, they always want to marginalize parents. They always want to dilute the significance of parents. They don't like strong families. Let me repeat that for you. The communists, the leftists, and the atheists, the left-wing people, they don't want strong families. What they have done there is to succeed in legally marginalizing the families in Grenada. You're going to have strong families that would have enough influence to prevent the 12-year-old from having these sexual responsibilities. But the majority of them in the country, the government is breaking that. When you select a leader who is not strong where Christianity is concerned, who is hiding information from you, who is a communist, that is what you're doing. You're giving them permission to destroy the family. Some people hate Donald Trump because Donald Trump say, the sex you're born with, keep it. If it's a male when you're born, it's a male. If it's a female, it's a female. So the communists, the left wing, and the atheists, they always do things to destroy the family. You notice the left wing is on the rise in Grenada. This group that leads the NDC is the worst version of NDC. The real NDC has been hijacked. And I don't think that Peter David movement is no different from Deacon's version of NDC. Let me repeat that. I verily believe that Peter David's movement and Deacon's version of NDC is all one and the same. They hope in election they will do good enough, both sides, so at least they could control the government. and continue with the decadency and rampage of our society. Remember, one of Deacon's first act was to dabble in the occult. Then he said morality is a private thing. He accepted expensive gifts from third parties. He corrupted some of our institutions. When you have these things going on in the society, the old people say, ban your belly. Worse is to come. And we were able to do it very quick because we have been ignoring the writing on the wall. They have corrupted. Well, Deacon decided he wanted to be a billionaire. Well, if he wants to be a billionaire, obviously, the parliamentary representative in Carrico want to be a millionaire. The sistren in Guave want to be a millionaire too. They're young and inexperienced, so they openly say it. Win, lose, or draw. My brother in Carrico say he fixed for life, you know. A man that had less than $10 in his account within the first 3 months of government, now he crying out rich, you know. He fixed for life. We can't continue with the blame game. We are responsible for where we are now. When we blame slavery, it's just an excuse. We are responsible for the state where we are now. We could do better. We should do better. But we want to continue in the trend we are, and we blame it as an excuse. Grenada is where we are because we're looking for excuse. Irrespective of all the credible accusation that we put against Deacon, this gentleman insists we must say good. But when we give him an opportunity to say good things about Deacon, he cannot name 3. You know. He cannot name 3 good things about the government. We call him a fake, a vulture, poor people terrorist, master deceiver, the corrupter in chief, a divider that believes some Grenadians are classless and commoners, somebody that accepting bribe, that flaunt the law in the Grenada Development Bank and raid the bank, that dabbles in the occult, that visit countries secretly. And we need to be concerned. So you don't expect him to want to drop the age of sexual responsibility. We back with you tomorrow between 12 and 1 for another opportunity to punch. And once again, we apologize for not being on the radio yesterday. Technical difficulties. Thank you very much.
We talking it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end.